Alright, what's going on YouTube? Cloverbell's here back with another Series 10 team building video, and we're taking a look at Mewtwo today. Alright, again, we're coming up in the tail end of Series 10, and we have, again, just a few restricteds left. We've got Mewtwo, we've got the two Curums, we got Solgaleo, and then that's it. And then we're going to get ready for Series 11, and I think the final week of Series 10, we're just going to spend it team building for Series 11. So this way, when the first day arrives, I can give you those rental codes. So that way you have something to play in the first couple weeks. But until then, we're gonna wrap up Series 10 with what we got left. All right, and it's Mewtwo. So ladies and gentlemen, Mewtwo, unfortunately, there's some positives and not so positives, right? So the positives is that it has an amazing move pool, right? It gets stuff like Aura Sphere, Ancient Power, Energy Ball, Expanding Force, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, like Focus Blast, Grass Knot, Ice Beam, okay, Thunderbolt, Thunder. All right, it's got a great special attacking move pool. It's got a pretty good regular attacking move pool too. But again, the power of Mewtwo with these move coverages is where its strength lies. So if you can deal big damage with your coverage moves, then you got some shots in where the meta is right now. But of course, the answer is just play like Calyrex Shadow, because it just outclasses it in every shape and form. It does more damage. It's faster. The bulk is almost negligible, right? So that this is why Mewtwo is not really used, because just Calyrex Shadow is just better. All right, but if you told me I want to play Mewtwo, all right, fine, I'll help you make a viable Mewtwo team. So what we have to consider is speed control, right? As with all VGC teams, we need a fast mode, and a slow mode would help too. We got to counter Xerneas. We need Zacian. We need Kyogre. We need the double Calyrexes, because right now Mewtwo's not giving us anything with this psychic typing. So there's that, and we could use some fake out. We can use some intimidate. All right, things or even screens that could matter, but we'll have some of those things, but not everything. So let's just keep going here. So I feel like Indeedee is a very good partner here with Mewtwo. Why? Because Indeedee has, first of all, it has Psychic Surge, which will boost Mewtwo's Psychic Stab moves. And not only that, Indeedee has something called Helping Hand, which lets Mewtwo deal even more damage, and it lets you deal some other mons on the team deal more damage. And the main attraction with Indeedee is the follow me redirection support, which lets keep Mewtwo sticking around on the field for a little bit longer, honestly. And again, with the Psychic Surge, you remove the fear of fake out, not the fear, but you remove fake out, right? So this way, you could just not worry and just go ham. But again, Mewtwo and Indeedee, they're a pretty good pair, so I kind of like this a lot. And you always saw like Indeedee Calyrex Shadow, which is an even better combination. But again, we're trying to make Mewtwo work here, so bear with me. And then from here, I feel like just having answers for the rest of the meta. So like, I'm thinking again the two dogs. I mean, we've used the dogs so much, but they're just so good. I mean, we need Entei. And then I like Suicune here again. And what do these two give us? In case you're new to the channel, what are these two going to give us in terms of team composition? Well, first of all, double inner focus. So, Incineroar is not going to do anything to these things. Incineroar does very good against Mewtwo because it's a dark type. So if we have something to, deal with Incineroar and even counter it, especially with Suicune being a water type, that's always good. So not only that, Entei's a fire type, which is great against Zacian, the #1 restricted in the meta, of course, for all 3 months. And you're good against Calyrex Shadow because you're going to get a dark stab move. You're good against potential fire types as well, because you're going to have either a ground move or a rock move. And then, E-Speed is always really, really nice. Suicune, you know, you're getting Tailwind support here. You're getting Snarl for a Calyrex Shadow because again, the Calyrex Shadow is a big threat. So these two are going to be very reliable against it because Mewtwo doesn't want to go against Calyrex Shadow either. So Snarl is really good. Tailwind speed control, Scald for fire types, and then just overall being bulky, and then Ice Beam for like Lando Eyes, right? So that's always good. And Rillaboom, can't say too much about this. I mean, this is like the premier Fire Water Grass core. I don't know why I picked G-Max Rillaboom here. Let's just put this back here. So again, here we go, Fire Water Grass core. You know I love my cores on my teams, right? So we need this against Kyogre. Serena may be a problem, but we have the Entei, we have the Mewtwo. I think we'll be okay against Serena. And then from here, you know, we need Xerneas. So very easily you can go Stakataka. And the benefit here is if you make everything like, you know, Entei as adamant and Mewtwo as modest instead of timid, you're dealing more damage and you're being a little bit slower, which will help you outspeed some of the bigger threats in Trick Room. Because a lot of them are faster, like a Calyrex Shadow, like a Zacian, like an Xerneas. So, you know, again, here we got our Zacian check. We've got Suicune and Rillaboom for the Kyogre matchup. And all three of them do relatively well into Calyrex Shadow. Stack does well into Xern. Even Entei can help you a little bit in Xern. And then Mewtwo is just there to, you know, deal with everything else with like some coverage moves. But honestly, like these four is gonna like hard carry the team, and then Mewtwo is just kind of there. But you know, we can make it work. We can make it work. All right, but this is the 6. I have another way to try and use Mewtwo. I'll call it a Mewtwo part 2, again, like not a meme team, but you know, a different way of looking at Mewtwo, and that's going to be Nasty Plot Mewtwo. All right, because you know, if you're new on this channel, one thing you got to know about me, I play greedy. I play greedy with Swords Dance and Nasty Plot, and I love my redirection mons. So you know, stay tuned for that build. That's in the team building part 2. So if you look at the video description, if you click the timestamp, you'll take a look at how we did that. But for now, let's just round out the moveset item and EVs for our first version of our Mewtwo team. Alright, so let's start with Mewtwo here. So of course we're going to try to do as much damage as possible. So we're going to give it the Life Orb here. I mean, base 154 special attack. Like I know you have a bunch of weaknesses to like Calyrex Shadow and Dark types, but again, base 154 is base 154. I mean, it's nothing to slouch over. We are going to go modest here, but before I do the EV spreads, I want to do the move first. So let's go Side Strike here. Side Strike is a very, very strong stab move, and it'll do even more damage thanks to Indeedee Psychic Surge. From here, I do like Aura Sphere, right? Because again, Incineroar is annoying, and if they're not the careful route, if they're impish, then Aura Sphere is going to do a lot of damage. So, you know, I really do like this one quite a bit. And then from here, you know, I don't really need Flamethrower. I don't really need Ice Beam because I kind of have those covered on the team. So I think just something like Thunderbolt is fine. You know, the electric coverage could come in handy against the Kyogre matchup. So I'm not against Thunderbolt here. Now, if this was Dynamax, then I would just go Hurricane and just go click max Airstream, right? But you know, this is not Dynamax, so I think Thunderbolt just works out perfectly fine here. And then of course our last move is going to be Protect, because you know, Protect is Protect. It's VGC. Indeedee, so we know Follow Me, we know Helping Hand. Expanding Force is the other. I'm just going to change the order of my moves here, you know. Actually no, we're going to do it like this. I'm sorry. Follow Me, Helping Hand. I had it right originally. Expanding Force and then Protect. Okay, so nice standard Indeedee set here. We're not doing anything too crazy here. This is something that we've done many times. And then in terms of items, you know, you could go Psychic Seeds, but you know, I'm not too sold on it, and I don't really have a Focus Sash user here yet, so I think just putting the Focus Sash on the Indeedee here is totally fine. And then for the Entei, I mean, I can't say anything too much about it. I mean, It's good. The Mewtwo has the Life Orb here. Otherwise, I would just put the Life Orb on the Entei. But we're just gonna go Assault Vest here, and we're gonna go 4 moves, which means the Rillaboom is gonna have the Miracle Seed. Okay, so we're gonna go Violence Rillaboom. But yeah, Entei, Sacred Fire, Stab move, Extreme Speed. You know, which doesn't matter in Trick Room, so you can use that to your advantage. Crunch for the Calyrex Shadow matchup, and here you could go either Stone Edge or Stomping Tantrum. I think we're gonna have the rock coverage on the Stakataka, so ground coverage is pretty cool. Let's go Stomping Tantrum here. I think that's safe. Suicune, very standard here. Tailwind, Scald, Snarl, and both Ice Beam, and then Snarl. All right, very standard Suicune moveset. We've used this plenty of times already. Now the other thing is okay, yeah, now we're going Citrus Berry. That's fine. I was thinking leftovers or even goggles, but the stack is gonna have the goggles, right? So from here, Rillaboom. All right, so Grassy Glide and Fake Out. We know that much. That's Grass Pledge. Grassy Glide, Fake Out, and then of course my U-turn move. And then I do like Drum Beating. Again, if you watched Aaron Zhang feature our team, the Drum Beating Rillaboom, great speed control, and it gives you something to click against those annoying Serenas, because then you can just outspeed it and then just knock it out of the ballpark. All right, so there we go. And then Stakataka, Safety Goggles. Again, we need this. We're trying to get right to the Xerneas, because they're always going to bring their annoying Amoonguses, their annoying Indeedees, their annoying Volcaronas. So I feel like just, you know, bypassing all of that is with the goggles is just what you need. So Gyro Ball, Rock Slide, you know, you could go Stone Edge there if you want, Body Press, and then Trick Room, right? Because we don't care if you intimidate, Stakataka, we got Body Press. All right, so I feel like yeah, everything has the item here. So again, this is the 6. So now let's just take a look at our EVs. All right, so now let's start with Mewtwo here. So again, what I'm gonna looking for Mewtwo here is I would like to outspeed Zacian, right? So Zacian is kind of important here. So let's just most of the Zacians are going like Adamant and slower, right? So, and a lot of them are like in this 170 to 180 speed tier range, depending on the Zacian set. So I feel like just going to 180 is all we really need. All right, and then from here, I do like my third bump in my special attack stat. All right, I'm just trying to find it here. I think it was at 204. Wait, is it? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, 204. All right, and then from here, let's just optimize the Life Orb damage, which is going to be 189. And then finally, we have 4 and 4, right? So this Mewtwo set is just made to outspeed most Zacians and then deal as much damage as possible because we're modest, and then have a little bit of optimized Life Orb recoil damage by getting it up to 189, because 189 divided by 10 is 18.9. And remember, in Pokemon, it rounds down. So you're only taking 18 damage per second, not 190, because if I did this, where if I bumped it up to 190, now I'm taking 19 HP per turn, but I'm cheating the system by going to 189 and then just only taking 18 per turn, right? This is all for my newer VGC viewers out there. All right, so Indeedee, we're Sash here. We don't care about anything else. Just deal as much damage as we can and have as much bulk as we can. And then from here, just put a little bit in defense. Now I'm trying to consider, I think we're gonna go quiet in all honesty. Yeah, so let's just go 0 speed. So this way we can remove like opposing Rillaboom terrains. And then we're just gonna go quiet nature here. Where are you? Yep, there we are. So deal as much damage, have as much bulk, and no speed. So this way we override terrain. All right, Entei. We're gonna use the same Entei, Assault Vest Entei spread that we've had before. Previously we used the Life Orb Entei with that Zamazenta team. All right, but again, Assault Vest Entei is pretty cool as well. We're gonna go Adamant here. We're only gonna have 139 speed because so this way after Tailwind we outspeed Regieleki. And then we're gonna go to the third bump in the attack stat, 196. All right, and then from here we're gonna go to 208 to optimize our grassy terrain recovery, right? Because what is 208 divided by 16? It is a perfect 13. So 13 HP per turn. Because now if you do like this, now it's 13 point something something something, so it still rounds down to 13. And if you go to 207, now it's 12.999 whatever, and then now you're only getting 12 recovery per turn. So 208 is the perfect number. And then from here, just 4 defense and a tiny bit of special defense, just because, right? We need it. All right, Suicune. So we're gonna go calm. Same Suicune spread we've always run. Second bump in the SpDef department. Then we're gonna go enough speed for Calyrex Shadow, but we want to outspeed some of those speed creepers, so I like to go to 114 speed. All right, 4 special attack is all we need. 92 defense for surviving these adamant Rillaboom Miracle Seed Grassy glides that are 252. You will live it. So, and then we have the berry. All right, Rillaboom. So same Rillaboom spread that we've liked to run. You might even argue you only need to go to 116, the second bump, because you have so much damage with Grassy Glide and whatnot. So you could do that, and then you could just do something like this, where you have like max HP, and then a little bit of speed. What is it? What do I like to run? 117 now, and then summon the SpDef. So you could do it like this, but for me, I just like having grassy terrain HP. All right, and then you could even do this technically, right? If you want to invest a little bit more in SpDef because you don't have the Assault Vest anymore. But I feel like without the Assault Vest, you're not living those special attacks anymore. So you might as well just invest in your attack. So let's just go third bump here and then boom. All right, so this is our Rillaboom spread. And then Stakataka, I mean, you know, Brave, 0 speed, self-explanatory. Third bump in the attack stat. And then the remainder in the special defense department, just to survive those Torkoal eruptions and potentially Regieleki Thunderbolt. So we've got our EV spread for our first Mewtwo team. All right. So before we jump into the second version, let's just go straight into some practice games, and then we'll do a team building of the second Mewtwo team. All right. So this is a Zamazenta team, and again. No. Our Zamazenta team is the best Zamazenta team in Series 10. I don't know what this is. So he's got 2 electric types, a Garchomp, a Tailwind Center. There's a Blacephalon for some reason. And then there's Zamazenta. So I'm not quite sure what he's going to go for here, but as long as I have terrain control, I think I'm fine. So, and also speed control. So if I just go Indeedee stack and get Trick Room, I feel like there's nothing he can really do to stop me. And then just bring in Mewtwo in the back, and then Entei, just because we need something, you know, for super effective damage against Zamazenta. So there's that. So let play start. So again, he's going Koko Aleki, so he's going for the electric damage boost. So unfortunately, we're going to take that away from him with Psychic Terrain. So there's already the value of Indeedee. And this looks like honestly a free Trick Room. There's no way he can kill this stack. No matter how many spread moves he likes to click. He's actually Electro Ball Aleki, and then there's a D-Gleam, but that's fine because now we get the free Trick Room. Alright, so now he actually just gives us the Koko with a Gyro Ball, and the Aleki is Sash after the Expanding Force. However, the Aleki did go for an Electro Ball on the stack, and that KO'd it, unfortunately. But now we're still okay because we still have Indeedee on the field, and now he has a Blacephalon here. Mewtwo doesn't want to deal with that. So really, I'm just trying to protect my Mewtwo here and just go for Follow Me. I understand I can lose the Indeedee here, but we do get the KO on the Blacephalon because we're slower in the Trick Room. And now, although the Indeedee dropped, we did get our Zacian in, and now here comes Zamazenta. So this is totally fine here because Aleki is pretty much dead, and we still have 2 more turns of Trick Room. So even if it protects this turn, we still kill it next turn unless he goes for a double protect, but even then we have extreme speed because Psychic Terrain will be gone by then. So this is very easy. So the Zom protects again, expected, but that's fine. We still commit to that slot, and then Mewtwo just finishes off the Aleki here. So now it's just a 2-on-1, and this is a very easy end game. So Sacred Fire here, we don't get the burn, we don't care. It goes to the close combat, so now this just makes it easy for Mewtwo to finish the job with a Psy Strike. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So there you go. Stack and Indeedee did the job early. Trick Room is how we won this game. And yeah, now let's just look at another battle. Okay, so now actually what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the second version of our Mewtwo team, and this is the greedy, nasty plot version. So the Indeedee and the Stack, they're back, they stay the same, but Mewtwo is the one that changes here. So what I'm thinking here is Psy Strike, right? Psy Strike, Aura Sphere, alright, Nasty Plot, and Protect, alright? The greedy set, right? We got a Redirector, might as well go Nasty Plot, right? Might as well. But that also means we're going to have a little bit less attack and more bulk. Alright, and then from here, so instead of Entei Suicune, I'm thinking Whimsicott. Whimsicott's pretty good here. And then here Incineroar, just because we can get Intimidate back, which is something that the whole team can very much appreciate. And then from here, we can go for Water Urshifu with the Mystic Water set. Alright, and I'll give you a hint at what kind of set we're going to try and use. But anyway, so this is our 6. So let's just round out our team here. So Whimsicott, what we're going to do with the Whimsicott is, yeah, we're going to go Prankster, but we're going to do something else here. We're going to go Rocky Helmet Whimsicott, okay? And the reason why we're going to Rocky Helmet is because we're going to chip some of these fake out users that love to fake out Whimsicott because of Tailwind. And we can actually EV Whimsicott to the point where we can survive Incineroar Flare Blitz. Yep. Alright, so I'll show you that spread in a second, but let's just do the moves. Tailwind is guaranteed, of course. We don't have Rillaboom here, so we kind of need Grass Knot just for that Kyogre matchup. And our last move is just going to be a straight Moonblast. Alright. I know there's like some Encore weird sets out there, but you know, I kind of just want Protect on the team on my Whimsicott. So this is our set. We'll look at the EV spreads in a minute, but I'm just showing you the move set at the moment. Now Incin, Stack has the goggles. You could go Berry Incin, but I'm thinking Assault Vest Incin, and I'm thinking Adamant 116 Incin. But Flare Blitz is what we want. Fake Out, U-turn, so now we can break Sash instead of Parting Shot. And Throat Chop. Okay, so we're going AV Incin here, and then Urshifu Mystic Water set. So Surging Strikes, Close Combat, Aqua Jet, and Protect. Okay, so this is our set. But how are we gonna EV the Mewtwo here now? So how are we gonna EV everything else? So now let's just take a look at that. Okay, so for Mewtwo with Nasty Plot here. So I feel like what we want to do is still keep that interesting speed tier here. So but what I'm gonna do is actually just have enough speed, 169, just to outspeed Lando I feel like that's okay because we're going bulky here, but we're still going modest. All right, and the way we're gonna go with Mewtwo here is we're just gonna go second bump here. So I believe the bump was here at 44, the first one. So the second one plus 80 is gonna be at 124. Right, because now you go from 207 to 209, and remember we're already Life Orb, and we're going to be getting +2 with Nasty Plot, so we don't need all that attack investment. We're investing in bulk. We're going to try and live things, and then from here we're just going to optimize our Life Orb chip. So let's just go, instead of 189, right now we can go even more, not 199, we're going to go even more. We're going to go 209, almost max. And then from here, just a tiny bit of defense and then some leftover Spadef. So this is our bulky Mewtwo spread, and I'll show you what calc this lives. But it's not going to be Calyrex Shadow. All right, I'll show you what it lives. Indeedee, we kept it the same. Stack, we kept it the same. All right, so now we're going to look at the Whimsicott. So the Whimsicott is actually going to be a bold set. All right, so yeah, this is the nutty Whimsicott bolt set. Max HP, third bump in the defense, which is 196. Alright, and then just enough speed to outspeed Kyogre outside of Tailwind, and then just 4 and 4 in the special attack, special defense department. Alright, so Grass Knot for the Kyogre, Moonblast for opposing Urshifus and Mienchaos and whatnot, and then of course speed control with the Tailwind. So I think this is fine, and of course we have our Rocky Helmet against those fake outs, those fake out users. All right, so AV Incin, Adamant 116 is a very common spread. So I like to go 116 right there. Still, I want 95 speed on my Incineroar just because, you know, I love having fast Incineroar, because in Trick Room, your U-turn goes last, right? If they're the slow, bulkier Incineroars, right? And then from here, just a little bit of speed def, but again, just a little more HP, 220 for defense, and then a tiny bit of speed def, right? A tiny bit. So that's our AV Incin spread. I'll show you what this lives. And then Urshifu, I remember this. All right, so this is the goated Urshifu spread. You're gonna if you were following the fan, if you've been a fan for a while following me, you'll remember this spread, the one that we use. So we're gonna go 140 HP investment. All right, 193, right? Usually we like 192, but 140 is a magic number here. 76 in the adamant department, and then 204 defense. All right, and then 44 for the speed stat, and then the remainder is also in speed def. Why I like this? So 123 is just to outspeed Serenas, because I don't want to take a power whip, so I want to outspeed them. The defense is for Rillaboom, Grassy, Glide. All right, just wanted to make that clear. All this HP and defense investment is for Rillaboom, Grassy, Glide. Okay, so we got our Incin, we got our Urshifu, we got our Whimsicott, and we did our Mewtwo. All right, so this is our nasty plot Mewtwo. So we're gonna call it Clover's Nasty Mewtwo Series 10. All right, we're gonna take a look at this paste at the end as well. It's kind of funny. All right, I mean, might as well. We're at this point in Series 10. So now let's take a look at two battles where we use Nasty Plot Mewtwo. All right, so this is a Calyrex Shadow matchup. All right, so he's got the cake thing. So he's going to be going for deck rate plays, and he has no Tailwind, but he has an Indeedee, right? So he's got the fake out boys with it as well. So honestly, I'm pretty sure that Incin and Rillaboom probably have a dark move. So unfortunately, I'm not going to bring Mewtwo. Very sad, but that's just the reality of what we're dealing with. But I feel like whatever we got left is going to do the job. So I feel like Incin stack is a good lead here. Just get the speed control. And then in the back, we'll have Urshifu finish the job here. So why don't we take a look at that? So here we go. There's the Calyrex. There's the Indeedee. I expect this. So Incin stack is my lead. Now, again, so he's going to have terrain, so I'm not going to be able to fake out anything here, but I'm going to force him to click follow me, because I'm going to just throat chop that thing. And if he doesn't, then I just get a free Trick Room, right? So let's see what he does here. Does he go for the follow? So he seeds. I mean, sure, I prefer like Sash stuff better. So he actually goes Helping Hand, Astral Barrage. So AV Incin takes that. Well, Stack doesn't, but we still live because we have a little bit of speed def investment. And because he didn't click follow me, he gave me the Calyrex with throat chop. So well played by him. So now he's got a Rillaboom here. And remember, we're adamant. Now he probably might go for fake out here. So my plan is to just swap. All right, get our Indeedee in and then stop the fake out and then just destroy the Rillaboom. So we were faster anyway. So I mean, sure, might as well. And then now he gets his own Incin, but again, if we just Intimidate cycle his Incin, we win the game. So we redirect the Indeedee, we deal chip onto the Incin, U-turn does good damage on their Indeedee, and now we get the stack. So the Indeedee goes for Expanding Force. Again, even if stack goes down, that's fine, because now we get a free Incin cycle Intimidate onto their Incin. And then honestly, now because our Incin isn't intimidated, now we can just knock out their Indeedee with our own throat chop, come out with another follow me, lose the Indeedee, but get the free switch. And I'll show you what that means, because we're gonna U-turn. We get the switch into Urshifu, which is what I brought, and then right back into Incin before another Intimidate. And this one's done because, yeah. I mean, look, we didn't need Mewtwo. Our supporting cast is more than enough to win these games. So now let's just take a look at one more. Okay, so it's Groudon Sun, and there's a Mandibuzz. Of all things to have on this team, there's a Mandibuzz. There's also an Incineroar. So not the easiest matchup for Mewtwo, but I feel like we can still try our best here. because whatever he has left, like the Venusaur and even the Finny, Mewtwo can stop. So my plan here is to just try and get up our Tailwind. So there's Whimsicott, Instant. So we intimidate both his mons, so that's pretty good. I protect the Whims here. I don't want to just die turn 1. So he just faked out, and that could have went into Rocky Helmet, but I protected instead because I was afraid of what this Mandibuzz might try and do. But I'm gonna U-turn out of here. I take Rocky Helmet chip of my own, and there's my own Urshifu. Yeah, she has Whirlwind, and we get our Instant back in here. Alright, so there's Feeny. I went for the close combat on the Instant slot, so unfortunately he makes a good play. And this close combat is not going to do anything on this Tapu Fini. It actually does some chip damage, but again, not great. And we did take Rocky Helmet chip because we faked that thing out. See the value of Rocky Helmet. All right, so from here, I'm just going to simply get my Urshifu out of here with a Whimsicott swap in. He gets in his own Instant, and I get a Mewtwo here. So I go for a little bit of a risky play. I do get crit on the Mewtwo, but the Whimsicott dodges. And he goes into Mandibuzz, which is interesting. I go for the Nasty Plot right here, right now, because I feel like he wants to Flare Blitz the Whimsicott, which is actually what he does, instead of going for a Mewtwo kill. But I know we're going to live a Throat Chop anyway. And look at how much damage he took from like Recoil and Rocky Helmet chip. So now Mewtwo is +2. We have an Urshifu on the field. Guess when Mewtwo clicks? We are going to click the Aura Sphere and basically destroy that Mandibuzz. We got Urshifu back in here. Just dealing a little chip damage on the Feeny. Alright. Not a whole lot, but again, a little bit is good. Alright. And here comes the Instant. So, I mean, there's really nothing stopping the Ursh. I fakes out my Mewtwo, which is okay. The Tapu Fini went for the Moonblast, and there's our 44 SPDF investment. Alright, that's where we live that Moonblast. And now we just KO this Instant with a Surging Strikes. All right, beautiful. And now the Groudon, we can even intimidate it with our Instant and preserve our Urshifu. All right, which is what we're gonna do. All right, so we intimidate the Groudon here. We take out the Feeny with another Side Strike. Groudon has Shadow Claw, but we live because Mewtwo is the GOAT. We EV'd it to live Groudon Shadow Claw. No, we didn't, but we got the Intimidate off. We made it -1, and we're a bulky Mewtwo set, so of course we're gonna live it. And guess what we're gonna do now? Mewtwo goes with the Psychic Strike and one-shots a Groudon. Oh my lord, Mewtwo Nasty Plot just went in on this guy. He had no idea what hit him. All right, so now let me just show you some of those damage calcs that I promised you. Alright, so this is the Whimsicott bold set with the Rocky Amasol, just to prove it to you. So any normal Instant with just 4 attack, the Flare Blitz is not going to KO, and we're going to deal Rocky Helmet chip. Alright, let's just see how much this does into a normal Kyogre that's not too bulky. So let's just go modest. So they like to do something like this, where they have 20, and then 4. Alright, so something like this, and then some whatever speed they want to have. Grass now does pretty good damage. This is why, like, you saw sometimes like Life Orb Whimsicott is pretty good. Hey, Grass Knot's pretty good. That's good damage, and I think Mewtwo can just clean up from there. But our Mewtwo set is actually kind of cool. Let me just import it. Give me a second here. Just import this Mewtwo set. I'll show you exactly what it lives. Mewtwo. Alright, let's look at Zacian. Alright, so Zacian, Behemoth Blade, second EV bump, no Intimidate, doesn't kill Mewtwo. That's kind of funny. With this HP investment and a little bit of defense, you can live a second EV bump Adamant Zacian Behemoth Blade. That's kind of nuts. Of course, we can't really KO it right back, but we have AV Instant to handle that. Alright, so there's that. Speaking of AV Incineroar, let's just take a look at that set. And then we'll look at the other one with the Urshifu. So here's our AV Incineroar set. Let's just go close combat here. Alright, so the bulkier ones, let's say if they're 252, Alright, so they actually live our Flare Blitz if we're 116, but that's still okay, because that's still very, very good damage. And not all Zacians are full HP bulk, right? Not all of them. Close combat, again, if we intimidate it, not ideal. Like if we put 52 defense, let's just take a look at this. I put 42. So close combat, it's still a roll to kill you, right? So you might say maybe you take a little bit away from the speed and do that, but we're an offensive Incineroar here, so I still think that even though we're more susceptible to a -1 close combat, we're still fine. But again, not all Zacians are at the second bump. What if they were at the first bump? Then you're fine, because then you have a very good chance to live here, a very favorable roll. This is like adamant 76 Zacians. All right, so that's still pretty good. I'm very comfortable about that. So there's our AV instant spread. But again, it's also made for the Xerneas and Calyrex Shadows. But that's the point of our AV instant. But again, the real sleeper was this Urshifu goated spread. All right, you saw it live the Tapu Fini Moonblast. All right, but does it live that Rillaboom Grassy Glide? All right, let me prove it. All right, so this way I don't look like a fool on our video. That's not the right Urshifu. It's gonna be this one, I believe. Yep. All right, Rillaboom, where are you? All right, first of all, adamant 196 Rillaboom. Psh, not even close. Hello? How about 252? Psh, not even close. Miracle Seed. Where are you, Miracle Seed? All right, barely, not even, like, all right, 6.3%. Yeah, I'll live. I'm living, guys. I'm living. And most Rillabooms that are Miracle Seed are not even this strong. Most of them are like, if anything, 116, and that has no chance. All right, look how much close combat does though. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we're gonna live the Rillaboom Grassy Glide, so have no fear. But yeah, those are some pretty cool calcs if I say so myself. Mewtwo after Nasty Plot just kills everything. All right, I just want to make that clear. All right, so if you can set that up with the Indeedee and then just go for like helping hand Nasty Plot plays, oh my goodness, you're just gonna sweep the meta. I mean, we took out that Groudon in one shot. So yeah, now we'll just look at both spreads one more time and then bid you guys adieu. Alright, so this was the standard Mewtwo team that had like good speed control options with Drum Beating Rillaboom, Tailwind, Suicune, and Trick Room Stakataka. Entei is good for the Zacian and Calyrex matchups. Suicune's good for Kyogre and Calyrex. Rillaboom's good for Calyrex and Kyogre. Stack is good for Xerneas. And then Indeedee Mewtwo, a very common lead here. Redirection and then just protect Mewtwo and stuff. In this version, follow me, redirection support for Nasty Plot, and then just dominate. And you saw how bulky we were. All right, so I like this spread a lot. Rocky Helmet, Whimsicott is kind of cool to live against Incineroars. Stack is still consistent. AV Instance, always a nice pick. And then finally, the Urshifu that can survive the Rillaboom Grassy Glide. All right, so not too bad here. Let me know which one you guys like. But yeah, if I had to try and use Mewtwo in Series 10, this is how I would do it. So in the next battle video, we're going to bring someone else on the channel that had some success in using Mewtwo. So stay tuned for that video. Have a good one.